is Dee Dee Brown, Camille Acker, Juliet Acker from the Spinsters Union. Say hi, girls.
Hello.
We're a blog. We write a blog about and for single women with the whole motto and mantra that happily ever after begins now. And we thought, what better way to show the world and express that fabulous motto by watching The Bachelorette last night. They have their first African-American Bachelorette, and we thought it would be fun to watch it and then chat about it afterwards. So here we go. Ladies, it was my first time watching The Bachelorette from beginning to end. And I have to say, Miss Rachel Lindsay is quite lovely. I think that they made an excellent choice. She's beautiful. She seems really smart and thoughtful and sweet. And she does seem like real, like a real person and not like some airhead Barbie. And she's super, super likable. That said, about 20 minutes in, I wanted to shoot myself. I definitely enjoyed her fashion choices and her makeup and her lovely new hair. But it was a little bit of a struggle. What did you guys think about it overall?
Well, so why did you hate it, Dee Dee? Because, so full disclosure, Juliet and I, who are sisters and used to live together, we watched The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I don't know, how many seasons do you think, Julie? 6, 7?
Yeah, for a while. I mean, like, it's, yeah, these last few seasons definitely been out of it, but yeah.
Why?
No, I want to know why you hated it first.
Right. Yeah, shoot it first, lady.
And then we can talk about why we watched it, yeah.
I think I struggle with all reality TV in general. And for me, the show just seems so contrived. And I do know, I mean, I have, a little bit of a background in working in entertainment. So I know that there has to be, some fun, and there has to be some shenanigans to keep people interested. It can't just be a bunch of normal people sitting around talking and dating and all of that. So I get that. But a great example is the crazy Waboom guy. Really? It's so clear, it's disingenuous. He's not there for the right reasons. And then, of course, they're going to keep him on the show because people will watch his shenanigans. And I know enough about the previous seasons from watching the entertainment shows that there's always some like unredeemable character who's a complete hot, fiery mess that they keep on for a few seasons to help boost ratings because they think that's what people want to see. And maybe it is. And so for me, I just was like, okay, what guy really does that? What guy really calls himself the tickle monster? What guy starts talking about his man parts in an interview for a show that's supposed to be about connecting with the right woman? I was like, give me a break.
Yeah, he was ridiculous. Absolutely. But you asked us why we watched the show in the beginning. I mean, I think when the show first came out, which was a long time ago, I don't even remember when it first. In shows. Do you remember, Camille?
I think this is the 13th season, something like that. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't remember who the first Bachelor was, but what I know that I really got hooked was when Trista Sutter was the Bachelorette. She was the first Bachelorette, and she found love, and that was a really great love story. They're actually still married. They have kids and everything. And I do think there was something about the romance of it that, even though it is contrived, that I was attracted to, and also having all these different characters and people coming to find love and some to find success and fame or whatever else was interesting. It's definitely good TV watching, you know, guilty pleasure TV watching. And what I find with a lot of reality shows now that follow people's lives, that can be really dark and kind of nasty, especially if there's a woman involved. You know, all these like Real Housewives of whoever, whatever, they're really not, for me, I don't feel good when I watched it. But at least with The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, there is some positivity, optimism about it that I do kind of miss from other reality TV shows. So that is something that I was attracted to. And with this particular season, this Bachelorette, I think she's wonderful. I mean, she's like someone that we would hang out with, you know, completely relatable, beautiful, smart, all of those things. And it's, you know, we know so many women like her that have all these amazing qualities and are single, you know, so that's why I was like, okay, you know, I get it. But the Waboom guy, yeah, I'm waiting for him to leave.
Well, and honestly, I think he's going to be gone the next episode, because when they showed like the preview of the season, he really wasn't anywhere to be found. It's like that other guy who sort of becomes the evil figure. So I think she's not. I mean, I was disappointed she chose him to begin with. Asian guy, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Oh, yeah, I couldn't. I was like, I honestly was like, did the producers say to her, like, do they have like one person they have to put in there? And she was like, okay,
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, right. Like, you have to choose this guy.
But the thing is, and I will say, I think also when we started watching it, and this is just true for reality television, period, you know, people really kind of weren't getting on those shows to be like, to make their money from it. You know what I mean? Like, now people can definitely do that. But nobody was doing that in, you know, 2004. You know, like people were honestly like, oh, I'm going to get on the show. And it's going to be like if I went on any game show where you're on television and you're doing something. But I do think it was a different kind of dynamic when we were first watching it, where it is like the guy, you know, with the marching band and the guy in the penguin suit, like nobody was doing that in the first few seasons of The Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Penguin suit, seriously? Yeah, I mean, not to be mean, when he did, he kept it on the entire time. And then when we saw it, when he took it off, I was like, maybe he should have kept that back on, because he wasn't, no offense to him. And I'm like, first of all, let me just say this. I give anybody credit who puts themselves out there in a way that I don't think that I do, and that I likely wouldn't. And that includes her and even the guys that risk sort of looking, you know, silly or like a fool, even if their intentions aren't necessarily to be married and find the right person. They still put themselves out there in a way to be vulnerable, to be judged, to have a bunch of people sit around and talk smack about them the way we're doing. So I want to acknowledge that. And I don't know if I could be that brave or stupid, whatever you however you want to call it.
I feel like love takes equal parts of those things. Sure, bravery and stupidity. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's one of the things I do really admire about Rachel. And she says, I think you saw the end when they did the promotional clips for the entire season, where she's just so emotional, and she's like, I usually have my emotions under control. I very much relate to that. I don't tend to be a super emotional person. I definitely become more of that as I've gotten older. So I was inspired by that, and I'm like, oh, maybe this may inspire me to actually get back out there on the proverbial dating horse and start, you know, dating again. I will say though, there were some super hot guys on that show.
Yeah,
yeah,
She does, yes.
my mom started watching it with me, and she's like, wow, yeah. So I had my mom co-signing on all the hot ones, and I was like, where's the 47, 48, 49, 50-year-old version of those men?
See, you could be pitching that show, Dee Dee. Okay, you could be
the
Bachelorette.
Nobody wants the old lady Bachelorette, I'm sure.
No, they do.
They do. They haven't done it yet. See, you could groundbreaker, trailblazer.
Can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
There was one guy who left, and he was like starting to cry. And at first I was kind of rolling my eyes, but then he said, it's just so frustrating. And then I was like,
yeah,
I like, yes, that's you're right. And I thought, because I was like, now how are you gonna cry about a girl you just met, But then I was like, no, but that is the thing, because I remember, dating and something not working out and being really upset about it, but also realizing it wasn't even about that person,
Right.
It wasn't even about that guy. It was just like, okay, fine. So he's not it, but like, who is? Where is he?
Yeah.
So when he did that, I was like, I get it. I mean, again, Dee, I think there are definitely people on there who, yes, are fame hunters, but I think there's also people who are really just like, yeah, where is my person? And like, maybe my person's on The Bachelorette. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I get it. Like I could see, like, why not do it? Like it's one of those things where like you only live once. It's a great opportunity. Again, the kudos that I will give her, and for sure she's not going back to being a lawyer. She's totally gonna be, I don't know, some correspondent. There's a lot of, her world's gonna open up in a really big way, even if, but apparently she actually is engaged at this point. So she was on Jimmy Kimmel last night, and I think there was it actually hit the like entertainment sites or whatever that she is engaged. But let's say she didn't. The exposure is going to open her up to a completely different world, and I definitely don't see her probably going back to being like, what was she, a DA, a prosecutor, a defense attorney in Houston. So I could see that. I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's just see what happens. Let's, that requires a great amount of vulnerability again, which I commend her for, and the guys too. Speaking of the guys, did you guys have a favorite, like top 3? Maybe just even based on hotness.
Well, I was glad that the Colombian guy, I liked the Colombian guy.
Okay, how did you feel about the kiss and all of that? I was not feeling that kiss at all. I thought it was way too soon. I was like, there is too much tongue. If you just had given her a pet, I would have been fine with it. But I was yelling, and I was like, Rachel, take your mouth off that man right now. I was not feeling that. Although I was feeling him, but I was like, girl, stop the press. Right?
Oh, I dated a Colombian man once, and I have to say it was super romantic, and he was a great leader, and he just took the bull by the horns, and he was romantic and forthcoming, and I was like, oh, wow, yes, I liked him. Good on him for taking control.
Well, yeah, he definitely, without a doubt, took control. Yes. Let me see.
But I also, Julie, was like, oh God, this kiss is terrible. No.
Well, the thing is, filming kissing, taking pictures of kissing, it's always going to look super awkward and a little disgusting because you're not a part of it. So you feel like, ooh, like, unless you're into that thing, which no judgment, okay? Like a bit of a voyeur, especially when it's like, it's like a science fiction movie or something. Like an alien your body.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the Colombian guy, who else?
Okay, so I have the list of the Bachelorettes that I sent to you guys. I like Blake K, who was not chosen. He was the Marine veteran from San Francisco, the Asian guy. I wish he was chosen.
Yes, by his name. Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about his grandparents, had been together. Yeah, I thought he was great. Unfortunately,
I know. When she did that last pick.
Brian was the chiropractor, the Colombian chiropractor.
Yeah, I put Brian as hot. What did you guys think about Josiah?
Josiah, I like him. Even though he was like a little cocky, but I thought it was a cockiness that was coming from a vulnerability, not from just a jerk point of view.
I'm not a fan.
Like his whole story about his brother, unfortunately, who committed suicide and then he got in trouble and how he became a lawyer. I thought was such an awesome story, and I'm rooting for him. I'm definitely rooting.
Okay, can I just say, and that this was especially a moment for me where I was like, this television is terrible. That whole moment about his brother, I was like, this feels really salacious. Like, we're gonna go out to the yard and look at the tree.
Yeah. It's like gallows humor, right? It's like,
oh.
I was like, this is too far. This is too much.
But it did, you know, I mean, the whole point is to pull at your heartstrings and to get
for sure.
And it, you know, it got me. It got me.
Well, I will say it
got me too.
It's terrible to say it didn't get me, because I don't mean that. It's horrible. It's horrible and mortified. Okay, but the way they talked about it was, I was like, this is terrible. Yeah, I'm not a fan of
other ones.
Oh, other ones? I know. I was trying to. Oh, you know what I thought was interesting? Her first few picks, and I don't know necessarily that she's doing it in any kind of order, you know?
Right.
Her first couple picks were white guys.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, Rachel. You know.
Yeah,
I actually diversity of those men, it was good. It was great.
Yeah, I wonder actually in terms of kind of the racial mix, like where she kind of landed. Yeah, and it'll be interesting as, of course, so when they did the whole clip about the whole season, she asked one of the white men, have you ever brought a black woman home? So that'll be interesting. I mean, no one's really talking about race now, but of course, obviously you can see that there are different races there, but I wonder if that is going to become not an issue, like a stumbling block, but just something that we'll have some discussion at some point, you know?
How did you all feel about that guy, you know, who said once I go black, I'll never go back comment?
Oh, I was like, he's out of there. He's done.
It's just so played. It was cheesy, and it was just kind of like, you don't know how someone's going to feel about that, you know?
But
that's not funny.
Yeah, it's because it's played. That's why. It's just, it's not original, you know? It's not, you know, it doesn't give me a sense of who you are. I don't know. It gave me a sense that maybe he was not
a little jerky.
Yeah, but one thing I do have to say for him, when he was walking up to the limo the second time, you know, they were meeting, he did ask her, how did you feel about that? You know, because she could have said, you know what, I was offended by it. You know, at least he had some sensitivity, like, you know, maybe that wasn't the best thing to say. I would have thought less of him if he hadn't asked her, and you know, and broached that topic, because you know, she could have said, you know what, that was a smooth thing to say.
Did he get a rose?
That's what I was saying. I didn't think he got eliminated.
No, I don't think he did. No, he got a rose.
Right? I think because I remember of the guys who did, there were a couple that I didn't even fully register for me. I was like, oh, okay, well, that guy, whatever, he can go. I was, you know, again, sad about Blake K. I wanted her to pick him instead of Waboom.
I liked Blake K.
Yeah.
What did you think about, so speaking of race, I thought about that really sweet, charming, at least I found him very charming, no surprise, I'm from Alabama, the one from Kentucky that was playing the guitar. When he came in, I was like, he's going to bring this lady home to the parents in Kentucky? This is going to be
interesting.
Yeah.
What's his name? Lee, that's the guy that you're talking about.
So, but he's the guy who becomes the sort of evil guy. And of course,
he's from Nashville. He's from Nashville.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so much him, but I liked Jedediah. He was kind of a country. Jedediah, ER physician from Augusta, Georgia.
Yes.
First of all, how can you not like someone with a name like Jedediah? I mean,
that's a Bible name, right? That's a biblical name. It has to be.
It's just kind of like, I don't know, something about that name. I'm like, yes, Jedediah.
I mean, would you want to marry a guy named Jedediah? That would be.
Well, I have no room to talk, as you know.
I won't bust you, Dee.
What did you guys think about the wrestler, the brother that had the 10-year-old daughter?
I liked him. Yeah, when they had that conversation and he was talking about, you know, how close he is to his daughter and that most of his life is, like we said, like tap shoes and ballet shoes and things like that. At first when I saw that he was a wrestler, I was like, I don't know about this. When he was talking to her and he said, you know, when I would just be canny with you and, you know, this is who I am. I thought he was nice.
Yeah. And what they showed, you know, he and his daughter before he left, I thought that was so sweet and so beautiful, their relationship, you know, her saying, I'm going to miss you, Daddy. I mean, I love that. And I definitely gained a lot of respect from him. Just seeing that relationship, you know, having that really close relationship with his daughter, I think bodes well for, you know, he and a potential wife. So
I agreed with all of that, but I'm like, if I'm Rachel, I'm 31. Do I really want to be with a man who has a 10-year-old kid? I don't know. Like, if there's, I was just like, that's a lot. I was like, you don't, well, certainly at my age, I would never exclude someone who had a child because that's absolutely ridiculous. But I'm like, you're 31. There's a bunch of like really hot guys who seem sweet and very genuine. They seem authentic, that don't have kids. Is that really something you want to take on? Maybe it should matter, but I'm like, yeah, I put him on the, just because of the like kid thing.
On the maybe.
Even though he seems like an awesome guy and a great dad, I was just sort of like, is that what you really want to be doing? Maybe it is. And in the end, it doesn't matter. I think if you love the person, then you can love the kid too. I certainly am a product of a family where we were stepkids. We had a stepfather and stepmother. So I just wondered if that was like, you're 31. Do you want to sign on for that?
That's an interesting question. Yeah. Well, the other thing I think, because wait, she's from Dallas, right?
Dallas or Houston?
I think it's Dallas, but yeah, it's definitely Texas. But you know, that was another thing actually. So I did see some of the last episodes of the Bachelorette season, partly because it was when they'd announced that she was going to be the new.
Oh, okay.
Interested, and there was actually the woman I think he ended up picking. I can't remember where in Canada, but it's from some Canadian city. And one of the things they talked about was like, how are we going to figure out this about where we live? Because she was really close to her family. No, we'll live in, you know, Ontario or whatever. And he was like, well, but I'm from, you know. So I also wonder if some of those things, she did pick someone who had a kid, you know, what does that mean about where you live? And you know, there were a couple, I think there was at least one guy who was also from Dallas, and maybe somebody else who was also from Texas, you know, so it's like, okay, in some ways I wonder if some of those things also enter into your mind about logistics of if I pick this guy, what does this mean about my life?
Right,
So,
right. That is interesting. I mean, one thing about this show is that, I mean, that obviously they have cast a wide national net, and with the other show, I mean, he chose someone from Canada. I mean,
aren't they broken up already?
Maybe.
No, I think that's actually there's some other Bachelor, and again, because there's some other Bachelor broken up, Ben and someone, and he was the Bachelor from before this last Bachelor.
Before that one, yeah. But yeah, I mean, with the advent of internet dating, I mean, you can date anyone from anywhere. And that's something to think about. I mean, you know, how wide of a net are you going to cast for love? I mean, you can just do it in your immediate geographical area, or you could just say, you know what, I'm going to set the parameters to the United States and just see what happens. You know, if you're open to moving, I think that's great, you know, because yeah, there could be some great guy in Memphis and you live in New York City, you know.
What'd you say?
How wide is your love net?
How wide? Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a post. That's
a post right there. How wide is your love net?
Mine doesn't even extend to Harlem, and I live in Brooklyn, so
not very wide.
I've done long distance.
You just got a very tiny love net.
If it takes me longer than 20 minutes to get to you on a train or an hour by car, that is a wrap, buddy.
Girl, you're not going to catch the big fish with that little net, okay?
Well, there's evidence why I have not.
Right. Catching guppies, girl. Guppies.
Okay, what did you all think about the guy who, or elementary school or whatever, or camp?
Oh, that she was his camp counselor.
Yes, that's what it was.
He was so good looking. But she couldn't get past that. She couldn't get past seeing him as a bad little boy.
No, she chose
him. He got picked.
He did?
Yeah. Yes. He was one of the last ones. He was like right before Waboom or something.
I told you.
Waboom. Waboom.
Told you because of the struggle. I liked him. I thought, first of all, he's very good looking. I thought he was super cute. Who knows? Do we want to take bets on who she's going to end up with? Who do we think she's engaged to?
I don't know. Not yet. I feel like I don't. Some of the guys that she chose, I want to get to know more about. Like Ignacio. I think he's maybe Filipino. He kind of reminded me of this guy that I went out with. Maybe that's why I was kind of like, ooh.
Oh, he's super cute. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely am looking forward to learning more about him. Yeah, I don't know yet. I mean, I think it's so new. And there were so many guys that she chose that were like, oh, who? Did he have anything to say during the show? I'm not sure. So, right, which may not bode well for him if it's like, who?
Hilarious.
God, you don't want to be a who in anybody's life. Who?
Fair enough. So how are we feeling overall about The Bachelorette? I think, again, I feel like there's, as much as I was like, this is excruciating and I can't see myself watching this every.
Why was it so excruciating? I mean, you've watched, I'm sure, worse than this.
Well, number one, I have a very short attention span. I can't watch anything for 2 hours. And I guess this goes back to an hour show. But
yeah, it does.
Also, I find it very contrived. Again, I was like, I love her. I think a lot of the guys were so handsome, and I think that their hearts are in the right place. If for nothing else, it makes for a good show to watch to see what she's going to wear because they've got a great wardrobe.
Yeah.
But I could think of a million other things I'd rather be doing with an hour of my time, and that is not watching. But that, in general, that's like reality TV for me. I just don't. And maybe what I should be doing instead of watching other people date is I should be dating myself.
Hey, that's what you do with that hour. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a challenge. I need to be my own Bachelorette.
Ooh, exactly. Maybe future episodes. Julie and I can watch The Bachelorette, do a brief recap, and then you can do your dating recap.
Yeah. I think we should have our own Bachelorette. Dee Dee is the Bachelorette.
Dee Dee is the Bachelorette.
On the Spinsters Union. Yes. You know what, Dee Dee? This was your idea about doing the recap of the Bachelorette. And now this is how we're going to extend this. Okay? You don't have to watch the show. You don't have to watch the show. But what you do have to do is get on dating apps and start casting a wide net, okay? Stop catching them guppies.
Stop catching those Brooklyn guppies.
Some big fish up in there.
I think this is a very interesting.
This is taking a turn for the worse as far as I'm concerned.
Well, hey, you don't want to watch the show. You got to spend an hour of your life watching the show, but no.
Right. You said you don't want to waste your time with the show. Fair enough.
Fair enough. You won't.
Okay, I'll take that challenge.
Okay. Yes. All right. Excellent.
Seeing as how I can't remember the last.
Right. Yes. So yeah, you got some dates under your belt for 2017.
Oh my God, which is half over. Yeah, it's time to get back on the horse.
Ride, Diddy Ram, ride.
Ride, girl. Ooh, giddy up, cowboy. Okay, I accept that challenge.
All right.
Rachel Lindsay is my inspiration.
Woo!
Should I get a fabulous hair weave too?
Absolutely.
Nothing says authenticity like fake hair. I got this just for you.
I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to be dealing with this in filming and in and out of the water. This just wouldn't, you know.
Yeah.
Look at this. I already messed it up. Let me pat it back. Okay, so what's my challenge? So when we do this again Monday, I have to have what? Gone on a date, which is going to be impossible because I'm traveling.
No.
Done a profile?
Right. Stuff back out there.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yes. The one profile.
Or if there are any single eligible men that will be watching this, hit us up at thespinstersunion@gmail.com.
So you'll be getting lots of emails from the Middle East and Nigeria. So
That's all right. They told me to expand my love net. Expand my love net.
Much wider love.
okay.
Oh, funny. Okay. Well, ladies, is that all for our recap of The Bachelorette featuring Rachel Lindsay, the fabulous Rachel Lindsay?
Yes.
Rachel, we're wishing you the best. Thank you for the inspiration and the authenticity in which it looks like you have approached this. We're here for you, sister. Bye. Bye. Oh, make sure you check us out at thespinstersunion.com for more interesting stories and topics and posts about what it is to live a fabulous life and be single. Bye-bye.